I don't typically like to get into the politics side. I like to look at politics, finance, and technology. And I really like to look where those three come together, the merge of those three, a Venn diagram, if you will. I don't want to talk about politics for politics' sake, but when it comes to the decentralized revolution and technology and money, then it's definitely something that we want to keep an eye on. And looking at what's going on in the political arena right now is interesting for one big reason, and the big reason why I'm really interested in what's going on in politics right now is the fight, the revolt that's going on in the GOP and the Republican Party right now, with basically Kevin McCarthy's bid to be the speaker. And they just can't get it done. The Republican Party is divided, and they don't want to nominate him. And he keeps going back to the bargaining table, if you will, giving more concessions and more concessions. Hey, you can remove me if you don't like me, and we'll do all these things. And yet there's, half the party is just stuck. They said, just no way, we're just not going to vote for you. And now, we have President Trump getting involved. You have the Democratic Party getting involved in this. And this is an embarrassment, and you need to get this done. And, we worked so hard to get the Republican majority there, and now you're squandering, and all these things, which is insane. We have to get this omnibus bill rushed through in 2 days before Christmas. It's 4,000 pages that we can't even read for $1.7 trillion in spending. We better get it done in the next 2 days. But we can't, we should be taking time on these things. To spend $1.7 trillion of our kids' future, that's not something that we should be rushing through in 12 or 24 hours right before Christmas. That's something that we should think about. We should have time. We should have open debate about. And probably who takes control of the speaker's position is also something that we should be willing to take our time with as well. But that's not what I want to really, that's not what stands out to me. What stands out to me is why. What's going on here? And it looks like the revolt is really being spread by these anti-McCarthy Republicans by very prominent conservatives. And so what we're seeing, similar to what's going on in the Democratic Party, is there's this divide where you have this extreme left, part that's, trying to push, trans rights in elementary schools and, just crazy extreme things over on one side. And then you have the other Democratic Party that are just liberals, right? And they just want more freedom and things like that. And you're really seeing this divide. And I think on the right, on the right or the Republican side, you're also seeing something similar where you have these rhinos, if you will, they like to call them, the Republicans, but they're really Democrats. And then you have this these conservatives that are trying to get the party moving again. And that's really what this divide is about. And the reason why this is important is, as I talk about each and every week, the decentralized revolution. This utopian vision that we're all in this together, we're all alike, we're all robots, we're all going to think and do the exact same thing, we're all going to like the same thing, and we can all be ruled by one person with one ideology is wrong. It's flawed. It's failed. It will never work. It can't work. It's why we have individuals. It's why we need small government. It's why we should have freedom to do these things. And so this is what is highlighted to me, is that these parties, they're breaking apart. The age of centralization, of centralizing this, it's over. And really you kind of have this, like I said, these Republicans who are more like Democrats right now, and the Republican Party is trying to separate this. That's what it's looking like to me. And it just really, like I said, highlights the fact that the world is changing. It's kicking these people out. It doesn't want them no matter what. No matter if Trump gets behind them, no matter what, which is pretty interesting. Some other big headline that I saw this week that really, again, highlights this is I would say the extreme end of the Democratic Party. They believe that they have the right to do whatever they want. Who cares if there's laws that prevent it or not? So, for example, many mayors of cities, many prominent, very extreme left-leaning mayors of cities, like New York, Chicago, Washington, Philadelphia, San Francisco, etc., say, we don't care what the laws of the land say. We don't care about the Constitution. Even though I was sworn in on the Constitution, even though I was not only sworn on the Constitution, I swore to defend it from enemies, both foreign and domestic. Even though I said that, hand on my heart, I don't care what the laws say, and I'm not gonna defend them. And so one of those things I'm talking about is each of those cities I named, the mayors and governors in those states and cities have declared them to be sanctuary cities. So we have immigration. The United States allows people to immigrate into the United States. The United States was built on immigration. We're the great melting pot. Pretty much everybody in the United States came from another country at one point or another, right? We're a melting pot, and we need immigration. I am pro-immigration. We need immigration. We're not having enough babies to sustain our own civilization. We need to import more, or let more immigrate, and we do. I believe the United States, I don't have the exact data in front of me, but I believe the United States allows more immigration than almost any other nation out there, and we should continue to do that. But then there's illegal immigration, and that's where people come in illegally, and they don't come in through proper channels. And so these mayors and governors want to have what they call sanctuary cities, where we don't care what the laws of the land say, even though I agree to stand up for them or protect them. We're going to allow all these illegal people just to come live here. And we've been having an invasion. We'll call it an invasion. I believe over 5 million illegal immigrants came across the border last year. And it's a massive taxing on the system. Now, this is a bigger story. I should probably do a whole hour on that and why this is happening. And it's about, check out George Soros and his nonprofit, Open Borders, Open Societies. It's all about flooding the system with immigrants to crash the system. But, so these cities, and what I saw this week is Mayor Adams of New York City, who has a sanctuary city, said, enough. He said, quote, "There's no more room at the end," end quote. And he said that after learning that Colorado is the latest state that plans to ship these illegal aliens to New York. So these leaders are saying, look, close the border. But these sanctuary cities say, no, we don't want to close the border. But when all the illegal aliens come to that city, where it's a sanctuary city, they can't take it. And even Mayor Adams now is saying no. Adams said he was right when he said, quote, "No city should have to make a decision if they're going to provide for their citizens or if they're going to deal with an onslaught of migrants and asylum seekers." And that's right. We need to take care of the citizens, the people that have come here legally. And again, I'm pro-immigration, people that were born here, pro-immigration, et cetera. But you shouldn't have to choose. That's what Mayor Adams said. That's his quote here. The sanctuary mayors who acknowledge they're facing a crisis of Washington's making still can't bring themselves to call for the real solution, which is just immigration enforcement. We allow lots of people to come here legally. We should continue to do that. But we need to enforce the laws of the land. Now, if you want to change the laws of the land, go change the laws of the land. Otherwise, you should be enforcing the laws of the land. You swore in to protect them. I saw another story this week. Ron DeSantis showed he gave a speech, and he said, quote, "Florida is proof positive that we the people are not destined for failure." And he flagged the number one problem is the floundering federal establishment in D.C., which wields its authority through a sprawling, unaccountable, out-of-touch bureaucracy. And he's proved it. California had the most people leave the state than any other state in the nation. Florida had the most people go there out of any state in the nation. People are voting with their feet. That's how we vote, with our feet and with our money. And that's exactly what's happening in Florida. It's exactly what's happening with this immigration problem. People are voting not at the polls, which doesn't count, but with their feet and the money. And the world is decentralizing. That's what I got. You're listening to the Mark Moss Show, talking about the decentralized revolution. Thanks for listening.